And welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Sam Menzie, and we have a great show for you today. First topic we'll be covering is recapping the NL games of yesterday. Then we'll be moving on to the AL. Then after that, we'll be talking about the Framber Valdez injury for the Astros and the effects it could have on the team. Then finally, we'll be talking about some Red Sox news, including the injury to their starting shortstop, Trevor Story, and an extension to one of their young players, Tadano Rafael. But before we do that, I would like to ask you to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please use the link, gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. All right, let's get into the show today. So, as you are noticing, there will not be a stream today. I had some personal conflicts, so I was not able to, but some coming at you guys with a recording, still some content, so this will be on all audio platforms, of course, and the 4 segments will be on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube and you want to watch the whole show, just go on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts and it'll be there. So, yeah, but let's get into our first segment of the day here, which is talking about the NL games of yesterday. So let's get right into it and just recap what happened. All right, so the first game we're going to be talking about is a really exciting one, a thriller. The Mets-Braves, always an exciting game when these two play, so let's get into it. Bottom of the third, the scoring would start here. Ozzie Albies with an RBI double, scoring Jared Kelenic and Ronald Acuna Jr. to make it 2-0. Already starting off the game good, and then Marcell Ozuna in the same inning would hit a 2-run home run, making it 4-0, his 5th of the year. Gotten off to a really great start, and the Mets did have a new starter yesterday. It was Julio Teheran making his Mets debut, who was recently signed, so was doing really good up to that point, but did hang a few pitches, and that inning was not something he wanted to remember. So, yeah, definitely not a great start for Julio Teheran and the Mets, and you definitely want to see him improve, but it's only his first start, so you're not taking it too seriously. After that, in the top of the fourth here, you had Starling Marte hit an RBI single to get the Mets on the board here, making it 4-1. So nice job coming back a little bit. And then the big blow would come to the Braves in the top of the fifth here. Brandon Nimmo hitting a 3-run home run, making it 4-4. I mean, an absolute shot by Nimmo and a great job to get his team tying up the game. Then, bottom of the sixth, Travis d'Arnaud would come through against his former team, making it 5-4, and giving them the lead in the bottom of the sixth there. Top of the seventh, now Brandon Nimmo would come in clutch again, tying up the game with his second home run of the game and his second home run of the season, making it 5-5. Top of the eighth, then, DJ Stewart would hit his first hit of the year, and his first hit of the year would be a big one, a 2-run home run, making it 7-5 Mets in the top of the eighth, completing a huge comeback for this Mets team, getting morale really, really high, and was very, very exciting. Then, in the same inning, Brandon Nimmo would hit an RBI single, making it 8-5, so getting even more runs on the board for the Mets. Bottom of the eighth, Ozzie Albies would walk, scoring a run, making it 8-6, so the Braves would try to come back a little bit. And then in the bottom of the ninth, Malcolm Harris Jr. would hit a RBI single to make it 8-7, but it would be no match, and they would spoil on the other opportunities when Tyler Taylor would make a great catch at the wall to get the Mets the win 8-7. So a thrilling win here by the Mets, beating one of their biggest rivals in a great fashion as well. One of the best Mets wins I've seen in a long, long time. So they've been looking great so far after that slow start. So I'm really excited to watch this team and see what does happen tonight. For the Braves, they did have Charlie Morton on the mound. He went 5 2/3 innings, giving up four earned runs and 5 hits. 5 walks, more than 4 strikeouts, more walks, strikeouts. Not a good start by Morton at all. He really needs to step up with Strider now out especially. So I'm definitely watching him and seeing what does happen as the season goes on. For the Mets, as I said, they did have Julio Teheran making his debut. Was not good, going 2 2/3, giving up 6 hits and 4 earned runs. Not great again, but at the same time, it is his first Mets start. You can't really expect too much out of him, and he just was signed off the street anyways, so we'll look for him to get better, and with Senga out and McGill out, he's definitely going to be a big depth piece, and we'll see what happens with this season as it goes on. But again, a really exciting game there, and a really strong win by the Mets. Next game we'll be talking about is going to be Pirates-Tigers. We go to the top of the first here. Colt Keith hits an RBI single to make it 1-0 Tigers. Nice job of him to jump out in front. Bottom of the second, Connor Joe with an RBI single tying up the game, and Joey Bart would continue his hot streak on his new team with an RBI single, scoring 2, Rowdy Tellez and Connor Joe, making it 3-1. Bottom of the third now, Jared Triolo with an RBI single to make it 5-1. Top of the fourth, Zach McKinstry would hit a sacrifice fly to make it 5-2 and get some runs on the board for the Tigers. Connor Joe would answer right back with an RBI double in the bottom of the fifth, making it 6-2. Brian Reynolds would hit a solo home run in the bottom of the sixth to make it 7-2. And the Tigers would then get some more runs in the top of the eighth, hit Matt Vierling hitting an RBI single to make it 7-3, and Riley Green with an RBI double to make it 7-4 in the top of the ninth. But Tigers would not come back after that, and they would end up losing this game to Pittsburgh 7-4. So very unfortunate that they did lose this game after they got out to a nice lead in the start of the game. But Pirates' offense has been really good so far. I mean, they're 9-2 right now, so we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, really strong win by them. But the Tigers, they did have Reese Olson on the mound, who was not good. 4 1/3 innings, 6 earned runs. Not what you want to see from him, a guy you want to really rely on for your rotation. But hopefully he gets better as the season goes on. For the Pirates, they had Mitch Keller on the mound, their ace. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. A really strong game by him. Those 9 strikeouts are really, really nice to see as a Pirates fan. So definitely watching to see how his season does go on. And yeah, a really great start there. Next, in another exciting game here, Reds-Brewers, a divisional matchup that was very high scoring. Bottom of the second, we had a Santiago Espinal ground out and a Will Benson solo home run to make it 2-0 Reds. Bottom of the fourth, Santiago Espinal would hit a sacrifice bunt, and Joey Ortiz, the newest Brewer coming over in the Corbin Burns trade, would make a throwing error to make it 4-0. So nice job by the Reds to capitalize on that. Same inning, Will Benson with an RBI double, and Spencer Steer would also do the same, making it 7-0. And Heimer Candelario would get the big blow in the same inning with a RBI single, making it 8-0. So the Brewers looked to be dead in the water, but they would start to come back in the top of the fifth now. They had a Bryce Terang 2-run home run, his first one of the season, making it 8-2. A William Contreras RBI single would then make it 8-3. Ellie De La Cruz would hit his first home run of the game, a solo home run, making it 9-3. Top of the sixth, Bryce Terang would get another piece of run scoring for the Brewers, getting an RBI double. And Joey Ortiz would make up for the error in a way, hitting an RBI single, making it 9-6. Christian Yelich would then try to get the Milwaukee to come back even more with a 2-run home run, making it 9-8. But with the Brewers within 1 run, Ellie De La Cruz would get some insurance with a inside the park home run after a misplayed ball by the Brewers center fielder, making it 10-8. That would kind of take all the momentum out of the Brewers and give it all to the Reds, who would end up winning the game 10-8. So a really strong game by the Reds to win this game against a good Brewers team, a divisional rival. So great job by them. They had Aaron Ashby on the mound, who was not good whatsoever, going 3 2/3, only given up 4 earned runs, but there was 8 runs, so you can argue if it was his fault or not, considering it wasn't earned and it was mainly off an error, but, you know. For the Reds, they had Graham Ashcraft going, who was also not good, 5 2/3, giving up 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts, which is nice, but still not good in the run-earning department. So, yeah, definitely not great. Next game we'll be talking about for the NL is going to be about Dodgers-Twins. For this game here, in the top of the first, we had Freddie Freeman hitting a sacrifice fly to get the Dodgers on the board 1-0 there. Bottom of the third, Manuel Margot would hit a 2-run home run against his former team to make it 2-1 Minnesota. Then in the top of the sixth, Will Smith would hit an RBI single to make it 2-2. Top of the seventh, James Outman would hit a solo home run himself to make it 3-2. And Ohtani would hit his third home run as a Dodger to make it 4-2. And the Dodgers would end up winning this low-scoring game 4-2. So a nice job by the Dodgers to beat another great team in this league. Nice job by Ohtani to hit his third home run of the season. Twins had Bailey Ober going, who's really strong. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Yes, it is only 5 innings pitched, but against the Dodgers, I don't think you can ask for much more. For the Dodgers, they had newly acquired James Paxton going, who went 6 innings, giving up only 2 earned and 4 strikeouts. Really nice strong start to the season by him, so been very good. So, yeah, definitely excited about that signing if you are a Dodgers fan. Next game we have on the agenda here is one that went into extras, Phillies-Cardinals. Going to the top of the fifth here. Oops, that's not good if you're watching on YouTube. The lights just went out on me, but that does happen sometimes, so it'll come back, I think, in a little bit. So, yeah, it looks very funny, I think, right now. But I promise you, it'll come back. Next, so...
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSM...
There we go. It is back. Sorry about that. I had to press the brake for like 5 seconds, but Sorry about that if it was a little sloppy, but this does happen sometimes in this room. Nothing really I can do about it. It just is a thing. So, yeah. So what I was going here is the top of the fifth. Johan Rojas with an RBI single to make it 1-0 Phillies. Next, we would have a Trey Turner RBI single as well in the same inning. So nice job by the Phillies to open up scoring in this way. Ivan Herrera would hit a solo home run to make it 2-1. Brandon Marsh would enter back in the top of the ninth with a solo home run himself to make it 3-1. So the Phillies were in the driver's seat going into the bottom of the ninth, but the Cardinals would answer back with a Jordan Walker sacrifice fly to make it 3-2. And with 2 outs in the inning, Mason Wynn with an RBI single, scoring Michael Ciani, tying up the game for the Cardinals. Really nice job by the young players of this Cardinals team to get them back in this game. Unfortunately, it would not last as the Phillies would end up winning it with a Alec Boehm RBI double and a Bryson Stott sacrifice fly to make it 5-3. But still a nice job by this Cardinals young core to answer back and win. Not win, sorry, but answer back and get it to extras. For the pitching side of things, the Cardinals had going Miles Mikolas, who was not great, going 6 2/3, giving up 6 hits and 2 earned runs, so was definitely not his finest outing, but Phillies are a good team, so not great. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. 6 2/3, 2 earned runs were pretty great against the Phillies, I'd say, so I don't know, ignore what I just said before that. That was just me having a brain fart, I think, but I think it was definitely a really strong start by Mikolas. And a really nice job by him to control this dangerous Phillies lineup. The Phillies themselves had Spencer Turnbull going, who was also pretty great. 6 innings pitched, no earned runs, 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. Has a 0 ERA in the season so far. It is early, but he's been a really important depth piece of this Phillies team. And we're definitely watching him to see what he does as the season does go on. The next game we'll be talking about is going to be Rockies Diamondbacks. A bad Rockies team against a good Diamondbacks team. We'll see how this ends up going. Ezekiel Tovar, the newly extended shortstop for the Rockies, would hit an RBI single in the bottom of the first to make it 1-0. After that, Randal Grichuk would hit a sacrifice fly to make it 1-1 against his former team. Kevin Newman would hit a RBI single to make it 2-1. And Ketel Marte would reach on a fielding error by Ryan McMahon to make it 4-1 Arizona, all in the top of the fourth. So nice job by the Diamondbacks to really compete this inning and get out to a lead against this bad Rockies team. Bottom of the fourth, the Rockies would start their little comeback with a Chris Bryant RBI single and a Nolan Jones RBI single as well to make it 4-3. Bottom of the sixth, Eliezer Montero would tie up the game for the Rockies, making it 4-4 with a sacrifice fly. So a nice job by the Rockies to fight back and tie the game up against a really good Diamondbacks team. Next, in the same inning, in the bottom of the sixth, we would have a Ryan McMahon RBI single to give the Rockies a 1-run lead, 5-4. Then an Elias Diaz walk would make it 6-4. So a really nice job by the Rockies to score insurance runs after getting the lead. Charlie Blackmon would hit his first home run of the season, making it 7-4. Diamondbacks would attempt to come back in the top of the ninth with a Lourdes Gurriel RBI single, making it 7-5. But they would be no match for the Rockies' amazing bullpen, being sarcastic. And the Rockies would end up winning this game 7-5. So a really nice job by this Rockies team to beat a really great Diamondbacks team, the division rival as well. If you're a Rockies fan, really I can ask for with this team right now. For the Diamondbacks, they did have Zach Gallen going, who went 5 innings pitched, giving up 3 earned runs, striking out 10, walking none. So a really, really strong start by him. Yes, he gave up 3 earned runs, but those 10 strikeouts were really, really impressive, especially in cores. For the Rockies, they had Kyle Freeland going, who wasn't as horrible as usual, going 5 innings pitched, giving up 4 runs, but only 2 were earned. So kind of an unlucky start for him, but he's been so bad this season that I don't really know if I can give him the benefit of the doubt there. So still a fine start, but still not the best. We have 2 more games here on the agenda. First one is going to be Padres-Cubs, a really, really exciting one here. In the top of the second, Ian Happ would hit an RBI single to make it 2-0. Then Cody Bellinger would do the same, making it 4-0, so a nice job by the Cubs to get out on front here early. Cody Bellinger would then hit a sacrifice fly to make it 5-0 in the top of the fourth. Chris Morel would hit a RBI double and Dansby Swanson an RBI triple to make it 8-0 Cubs in the top of the fourth. But the Padres would come back. In the bottom of the sixth, Jay Cronenworth started with a 2-run home run, his first one of the year, scoring Fernando Tatis Jr. Ha-Sung Kim with an RBI triple, making it 8-4. Luis Campusano would hit an RBI groundout, making it 8-5. And Xander Bogaerts would get them within a run with his first home run of the season, making it 8-7. In the bottom of the eighth, Fernando Tatis Jr. with the big blow to the Cubs, a 2-run home run scoring Jackson Merrill, getting the Padres to a 9-8 lead where they would end up winning it. A really, really amazing comeback by this Padres team that I think they needed. So yeah, just a great start by them and a great game. For the Cubs, they had Javier Assad going, who went 5 innings, only giving up 2 runs, striking out 7. Really nice start by him. For the Padres, they did have Yu Darvish going, who was not great against his former team. 3 innings pitched, 4 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Not great, only went 3 innings as well. But Robert Suarez was great out of the bullpen closing this comeback out, so that's a positive there with his injury risk. So, yeah. The last game we will have is Nationals-Giants. This was very looked after as it was Blake Snell's debut with the Giants. For the bottom of the first, we had Lamont Wade Jr. hitting an RBI double, making it 1-0 San Francisco. And the bottom of the first, that would be all that San Francisco would get. Trey Lipscomb would hit a RBI single to tie up the game at 1. Luis Garcia Jr. would hit an RBI single to make the game 2-1, and Trey Lipscomb would then steal home on a double steal to make it 3-1. Top of the fifth, we would have a Lane Thomas home run for the Nationals, making it 5-1, and an Ildemar Vargas RBI double to make it 6-1. Lane Thomas would hit an RBI single, and Ildemar Vargas would walk to make it 8-1 in the top of the ninth. So the Nationals ended up winning. Snell in his Giants debut was not great. 3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, but 5 strikeouts. So it wasn't great. But again, I'm sure he was on a pitch limit. I'm sure they didn't want to risk him too much. So it's not too awful. For the Nationals, they had Trevor Williams going, who was okay. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. I think that's all you can really ask for against this good Giants team and for who Trevor Williams is. So it was okay. So nice job by the Nationals to kind of spoil the big day of the Giants with Snell making his debut. So nice job there. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties during this first segment. Just that sometimes happens in this room. I don't know why. For the second, we're going to move on to our second segment, which is going to be talking about the recapping of the AL games. I did the NL, so it's only fitting for the AL. So, we'll talk about that, and we'll see you after the break. So, thanks, and bye.